Hey, I'm Tjerk from Dynamo Metal Fest, and you're watching Metal on Loud.
Thank you for joining us on our podcast.
Oh, hello.
Please introduce yourself to our viewers.
I'm Tjerk Maas from Loud Noise Company. We do several festivals, and the first one that is actually happening is Dynamo Metal Fest at the end of August.
That's a very legendary name in the Netherlands.
It is, but we were only involved as visitors back in the day.
Mm-hmm. How did you get to the decision to reboot the festival under a slightly different name?
Well, actually, it was, I think, 2013 that we got together, me and Paul, and we were like, well, but by then it was already, I think, 8 years ago when the last Dynamo Open Air was.
Mm-hmm.
And it hadn't been in Eindhoven since '98.
Mm-hmm.
So we were like, it was such a legendary festival. We need to have a festival like that back in Eindhoven because it needs to be here. And so we got to working on that. And about half a year later or so, I was talking to Sander, from the promoter from the Dynamo Club. And he asked me, because I was also a booking agent, hey, we're going to do something. We want to do a festival in Eindhoven again at the ice rink. And I'm like, hold on. So I gave Paul a call and I said, well, listen, Sander has this idea. We have kind of the same idea. Why don't the three of us go sit down and talk about what's possible?
Mm-hmm.
So that's when it came together that we named it Dynamo again, because we are doing this together with the Dynamo venue.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the short version.
Short version. Well, Dynamo and metal in the Netherlands are, I think, synonymous of each other. It's yeah. I remember back in the day, there was one thing in a year that I had to go to, and that was the Dynamo Festival.
So, it was pretty much the only festival of that scale in the 90s. Mm-hmm. in Europe. I mean, it was the blueprint for what is now Graspop, what is Wacken, what is Hellfest. Mm-hmm. It all started there, so it's legendary.
Back to the present. Right now, you have a 2-day festival planned. Last year was cancelled due to COVID. How much did that mess up your plans?
A lot. We decided to do a streaming festival instead, mm-hmm. because we were kind of hoping that something was possible. So we did a live stream festival, and we were allowed to have 250 people at the ice rink. And by then it was only 4 months into kind of a lockdown. And everybody was already, oh, wow, great that we can go out again. So with 250 people there, it was already a big party. Mm-hmm. And now it's, when we have the bigger party, it's going to be 13 months from the smaller version. So mm-hmm. I can imagine that people are really excited to going to Dynamo again.
Yeah, one of the things that really strikes me, if you watch the images from the festival from the previous times, you see all the old hand symbols on the t-shirts, all the old guards that keep showing their respect for the name and the legend.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and the majority of our audience is that generation and the older generation, actually. Mm-hmm. But it's also a lot of teenagers and people in the 20s and 30s. But the majority of the people visiting, it's my generation, the 40 to 50 category.
For the people who haven't checked it out yet, who's playing this year?
We have 17 bands playing. We have 9 on Saturday. We start with Tankzilla. We have Graceless, both from the Netherlands. We have Firewind, Asphyx, Arden Ogun, Decapitated. Then it's Bay Area in the Thrational. Very special project. Death Angel and Heaven Shall Burn did a headlining act on Saturday, and then on Sunday we start with Dress the Dead. Lick is on, Unleash the Archers, Legion of the Damned. Then it's Orange Goblin, Ginger, Candlemass, and Creator.
You know them all by heart. That's
yeah. There's nothing lying around here with the lineup. So.
I can see you washing up, so it's not a teleprompter.
Yes, supposed to. No.
That's an impressive lineup, man.
Well, yeah, it actually is, and I'm quite happy because about a year ago, half the lineup was different from what it is now. Because we had quite a few cancellations, almost half the lineup. And I'm pretty happy with all the replacement acts. I think even you don't give them enough credit by calling them the replacement acts. I mean, we have Creator instead of Amon Amarth, but to me, the response we got when we announced that was really, really good. So
Creator is legendary, but also Death Angel, who is new to the bill, also a legendary act.
They are the most awesome live band in the world. Well, that's my personal opinion, of course.
I've seen them several times. One of those times was in a little festival in Friesland somewhere. I forgot where it was, but it was in a tent.
Yeah, it might have been Dockham Open Air.
I think it was Dockham. Yeah, that's awesome. One of the things that I saw on the lineup was indeed the Bay Area International. What can you tell us about that project?
Well, it started in 2018. I had the idea I wanted to do something different than what other festivals do, like the regular metal festivals. And my friend Walter from Roadburn, he's already doing this kind of stuff for years, doing special projects at Roadburn. So I got to thinking, if I do something like that, what could I do? And I brainstormed a little bit about it. And well, my favorite metal genre is Bay Area thrash. And I knew Craig from Forbidden, and I knew that he was involved in setting up some projects over in San Francisco. Just doing like a 50th birthday for Rob Flynn and having fun on stage with covers and everything. So I thought he knows a lot of people, and if I ask him, I'm quite sure that he could come up with a good lineup and and a good show. So I started talking to him about it, and I invited him over for the 2019 edition. Mm-hmm. And he came for the weekend, and we talked about the ideas that we had, and he checked out the festival vibe because it's different than what he remembered from Dynamo Open Air, even though it's the same location, but it's totally different now. So yeah.
Well, times change.
Right now, I think the last musician that is needed is being trying to be confirmed. So yeah,
it looks like a very nice surprise.
Yes, but over the next few weeks, we're going to announce who is actually involved with the project. Mm-hmm. And there are people flying in from the Bay Area. Of course, the Death Angel guys are there, mm-hmm. and I think 3 of them are involved. Mm-hmm. But there's also a few, might be a few surprises for people. But also it's names everybody knows. But
That
over the
already
next
sounds.
week, we'll announce everybody, and the only thing that we won't say is which songs they're gonna play.
Gotta have some surprises. Yeah,
Yeah, but it will be 80s Bay Area.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
You already sound like you have it better prepared than the old Dynamo organization that did Creatief at Kirk.
Oh yeah, we always have that.
Better surprise.
Yeah.
If you look to beyond this year, are there any bands that are high on your wish list?
There are a few, but the thing is that because we had to cancel half the lineup, almost all those bands will be transferred to next year. So the amount of room that I have for new bands is cut in half.
Unless you add stages.
Yeah, but it's a bit difficult without going outside of the ice rink. So the location is a bit difficult for a second stage, even though I would want that. We have that at one of our other festivals, Into the Grave, but also does October Metal Fest. Actually, we have 4 festivals, and there's only one festival that has one stage, which is Dynamo Metal Fest. But yeah, full on my wish list. Well, there was one band, but they're actually going to play another festival in the same weekend on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. So
that makes it a bit difficult.
I guess I have to disappoint the Merciful Fate fans already.
Yeah. It's also a legendary act.
Yeah. Well, right here, you know.
Yeah. I think I saw them on the airport back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah,
in '93 it was.
People all with the beer stuff on the heads, the cartons with the crosses.
Yes. Yeah, I remember that. And I think it was during Mindfunk or something that everybody started throwing the beer cartons up.
Yeah, and I remember what was Marilyn Manson got so angry that he got hit on the stage.
Oh, with all the mud. I think that was '97.
Yeah. In my head, it's all one big party.
Yeah, the '90s.
I think if you Google Dynamo Festival 1998 death, and you watch the crowd, you can still see me in the mosh pit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I don't think I was in the mosh pit. I was probably in between the mosh pit and the bar.
It's I'm easy to pick out. It's an animal T-shirt.
Yeah. Cool.
Are there any special things you wish to communicate to people who are thinking about coming this year? What they should remember to do or don't do?
Well, there's one thing that is majorly different from what it normally is the entrance restrictions that are imposed on us. It's not something that we want to do, but we have to do it because otherwise we don't get the permit. And if we don't get a permit, there's no festival. And with losing the festival last year already, we can't afford to lose this one. So we have to do that. That's the biggest difference. So make sure you either get your vaccine shots and have proof of that, or have proof of a negative PCR test, or have proof of having recovered from COVID in the last 6 months. All those 3 things are valid as a proof for entrance. Aside from the ticket, of course.
Yeah, very important. Yeah, and beer
yeah. So that's the most important thing to not forget, is getting that proof and buy a ticket, because it's got to be one hell of a party.
Yeah, in true Eindhoven style.
Yes.
Yeah. Will you be doing anything like live streams or recordings of the festival?
Not live streaming, but we are planning to record some acts, and we are still in the middle of negotiating which ones and how many songs and stuff like that. So there will probably be something afterwards, but at this point, I can't say who or what exactly, but there will be something aside from after movies.
Yeah, so even in case you don't have your vaccine and you couldn't get a shot, there's still a chance you can see some of the acts.
Yeah, well, there is if you just get a negative PCR test proof. Yeah.
Do you have anything to add to our viewers?
Not really. Just check us out at Dynamo-Metal-Fest.nl. The lineup is great. It's going to be a really cool party. Don't wait too long getting your tickets because we only have a 10,000 capacity and we're going to get there.
Absolutely. With these kind of lineups, this kind of party after such a drought, it'll be sold out in no time.
Yes, so get your ticket.
Thanks for being on the podcast. You've been our first non-artist participant.
Well, I used to be in a band singing.
No,
that's almost 10 years ago I quit doing that. So.
Well, maybe we can talk about that next time.
Oh, yeah, sure. No problem.
So enjoy the party and metal on loud.
Cheers, man.
Voor voorstellingen in de culturele sector en voor eendaagse evenementen die nu wel plaatsvinden, blijft een placeringsplicht gelden, zodat iedereen altijd 1,5 meter afstand kan houden. Zowel binnen als buiten. Ongeplaceerde evenementen zijn dus niet toegestaan.
And welcome back.
Yes,
yeah.
Here we are again.
We had some shitty news right after we recorded our last talk.
Yes, we did. It was quite a surprise, actually. But it sucks. That's
that's all. That says it all.
It sounds to me like there's been a lot of panicking in The Hague, and it just doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm. So the things they now put in motion, what does that do to the festival as it's planned? Because
the new restrictions are until August 13, and we are on August 21 and 22. So that's a week after, but we can't put everything on hold until a week before. We need to continue with the preparations. There are still a couple of bands that need their flights booked. But if we're not certain that we can go ahead after August 13, if they would have said until August 13, we do this, and August 14, party, then it would have been fine. Then we would have known this is what's happening now, and we can still continue with the festival. Right now, we don't know.
No. The uncertainty is killing you right now.
Well, we're still we're positive people. We're still kind of confident that it will happen after August 13. So we keep preparing everything and do promotion, but it is a big risk with every euro that we put in it now, if we can get it back.
Yeah, I get that completely. I think for the community out there that's still deciding to go or not to go, to buy the ticket or not, it's important that they support festivals like this. So you can still,
Yeah, and even if it doesn't happen, your ticket will stay valid for next time. But it will sure help us survive maybe another shitty year with no festivals. So
it's hard times.
Yeah, it is. But like I said, we try to stay positive, and I hope that the outcome of the festivals that are taking the government to court this week, that the judge will let the numbers and the field lab experiment rule instead of the underbelly and the panic that I think is in their minds right now.
Yeah. So from you, we can say that for now the festival is still a go, and you're still going
Yes.
on as if it's still going to take place.
Yes,
That's
every
good.
day we're working on it, and even now in half an hour I have another meeting with some Americans for the Bay Area International Show. So everything is continuing, so we can do the festival in August 21 and 22 if they let us.
Exactly. Let's hope that everything clears up and that we can have an awesome Metal Fest soon.
Hell yeah, let's go for that.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.